Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Numbers, the 8th chapter. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. And Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlestick, as the Lord commanded Moses. And what this means is when you light the candlestick, uh, position the lamps in a way where the light is shining, right, as it says, in front of the lampstand. Okay, because they're in two sides, right? The candlestick is here. You want the light to be shining this way. Okay. Verse 4. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold onto the shaft thereof. And beaten gold means that this wasn't like you didn't, it wasn't molten, right? It wasn't cast. You actually took like a block of gold and then you would have somebody sculpt it, right, into this shape, all right, with the details and everything. So when you see that beaten gold or beaten work, that's usually what it's in reference to. It says, onto the shaft thereof, onto the flowers thereof, this is the design of the candlestick, was beaten work, according unto the pattern which the Lord had shewed Moses, so he made the candlestick. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And thus shalt thou do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh. And that means completely, like eyebrows, beard, hair, all their hair. And let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shalt thou take for a sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord, and the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. Now, practically speaking, right, with the mass amount of Israelites there were, we weren't going to have every single individual, every Israelite come and physically put their hand on the Levites. What this meant in practice was the chiefs or the heads that represented the tribes would be the ones who would physically perform this action. Okay, putting their hands upon the Levites. And even at that, they might, even of the Levites, considering they were also a lot, there would likely be some representing, the heads of their families or their households. And then this would signify, right, or symbolize Israel putting their hands on the Levites. Because practically speaking, you're not going to have every single Israelite physically put their hand on the Levites. And Aaron shall offer, and this is like, you would see this was the case in, in matters when it mentioned the children of Israel, doing something as a whole. Like, for example, them putting their hands on the head of the goat for a sin offering. All of Israel couldn't even fit within a certain confinement, let alone them all put their hand on the head of an animal. So there would be some appointed to do it on the behalf of the nation. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord Yahweh for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, and thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto the Lord. Now, this offering means, you notice it didn't specify. It didn't say a burnt offering, right, or anything of that sort, because what this means is they were being presented, right, to be offered to the Lord, not like being sacrificed or anything like that. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And so because then they would be, consecrated and basically separated to the Lord. So now they could officially, right, do the service of the tabernacle, right, of the congregation. And thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for an offering. So what this is saying is, in doing all the things mentioned above, that will conclude in them having been cleansed and offered to the Lord. For they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel, have I taken them unto me. So the tribe of Levi is wholly taken unto the Lord as a replacement, right? Of instead of taking the firstborns of the children of Israel, he took the Levites instead. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. In the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for me. So that day when he brought that plague and he spared the firstborns of Israel, at that point he sanctified them for himself and we became his. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel. So imagine that it's like having servants that are yours, and then you're saying, okay, I'm going to give them to Aaron, okay? And then they would basically serve him, right? In whatever he would instruct them to do to assist him and his sons in the ministering, in the service of the tabernacle. As it says here, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come nigh unto the sanctuary. See, so by having the Levites there to, make atonement for them and so on and so forth, that would preserve Israel, whenever they would become unclean or, commit a trespass or something like that. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes. And Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord, and Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons, as the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is it that belongeth unto the Levites. So this is the rule concerning the Levites. From 20 years, or from 20 and 5 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Meaning, once you're 25 years and older, you can go and serve. That word wait, okay, this time, that word wait, there you go. It goes into serve, right? Tazabah, as it says here, to fight, to serve, right? To serve at sacred tent. So that would be the age you would be eligible to do so. And from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more. So basically, remember there was that range, I believe, from 30 to 50, right? After 50, you wouldn't be, as it says, they will cease to serve upon the service thereof. So of what family you were, you wouldn't be partaking in like the carrying of the items from one place to another, and basically like being like the direct doing the direct ministering, right? But rather they would assist, okay, and guide and mentor and do that kind of stuff, still, in the office of a Levite, right, of a priest, but not as they would be if they were under the age of 50, right, between that age of 30 and 50. And it tells you here, right, it says here, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation. See, to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus, so they're going to assist, okay? And thus shalt thou do unto the Levites touching their charge. So this is the rule concerning their duties. And looking at this last verse in the NLT, it says, after retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by serving as guards, which is not just guards, right? But it's also just all matters um, of the service of the tabernacle at the at the tabernacle, but they may not officiate in the service. This is how you must assign duties to the Levites. NIV, they may assist their brothers in performing their duties at the tent of meeting, but they themselves must not do the work. This, then, is how you are to assign the responsibilities of the Levites. And that brings us to the end of the book of Numbers, the 8th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. And till next time, Shalom.